Today I'll be teaching you the APA style of documentation. When you have gathered materials for your academic writing and you're told to document your sources in the APA style, what are you going to do? Are you going to cite your author or authors? How are you going to construct your sentences, your signal phrases to put that author or those authors? So I'm going to show you the two ways you can do that in your text. But the basic rule is that for APA, you cite the author's surname, the year of publication of that material in your text, author date method. And if you are referring to a particular page or pages in that particular work you're citing, you also reflect it in your text. And so, I'm going to show you how you reflect it in your text, different ways to do it, and then how you later on collect all the sources at the end in your reference list. So, for example, on the screen, you can see if the author of your work is Solomon Peter, date of publication 2021, and you are putting directly from that work, say, roadside graphic artist Nsukka, Innovative, and this is found on page 9, where you've taken it. And then you have a lot of quotes from the same author, and the quotation is more than 40 words. I'm going to also show you how you are going to cite it in your text. What do you do to quotations that are more than 40 words? If you have a book by Roland Abiodun, for example, year 2014, titled Yoruba Art and Language, Seeking the African in African Art. This publication, New York, publisher, Cambridge University Press. What material do you need from this book as you write the text? And what material do you need from this as you build the reference list? Then, if you have a book of two authors, how about Cole and Chikanyako, for example, year 1984, book titled Igbo Arts, Community and Cosmos, place, Los Angeles, publisher, Museum of Cultural History, University of California. How do you use this? What material do you need from this to do the writing in the text, your in-text citation? And what material do you need from this in your reference? These are the key things you're going to learn. Article or chapter in an edited book, how do you handle it? You have a book titled A Companion to Modern African Art. The editors are D. Salami and N.B. Visona. And the article you want to cite from that edited book is by Henry J. Drowell, year of publication 2013, title of article, Local Transformations, Global Inspirations, the Visual Histories and Cultures in Africa. This, for example, is a little notation at the time, but it's an example that I've given. The page range of this article in the book by Salami and Visona is 21 to 49. The publisher of the book is John Wiley, place of publication is London. What materials do you take from this for your in-text citation? And what materials do you need from this for the reference list? And then we also give example of a journal article. For example, a journal article by Malassi Bells, year 1989, titled Ceramic Clues, Art History in the Gongola Valley. The journal where the article appears is African Arts, volume 22, issue 2, page range, pages 48 to 59. What material do you need from this for your in-text citation? What material do you need from this for your reference list? Now, let me go back again and start from the beginning. In your reference lists, we will need all of these to Roland Abiodun's book. We need the author's name, we need the year of publication, we need the title of the book, we need the place of publication, we need the publisher. We need all of these for the reference list. But in the in-text citation as you're writing, the only thing we need here, we will need the author's surname. The author's surname is Abiodun, and we need the date of publication. Author date, citation style. But if there's any particular page or pages that we are referring to or that we've quoted directly from, we need the page that we're referring to. This sentence applies to all of the examples that are given to you of the author or authors and the work where they're published. We need all of those for the reference list. But the only things we need in the text are the author's surname, the date of publication, and if any page or pages is or are referenced, we also need to have that in. So I start with the first example. Solomon Peter has published a work in 2021, and in it, you have found the quotation that you want to use, which is roadside graphic artist Nsukka have been innovative. This is found on page 9. This quotation is less than 40 words. So how are we going to reference it in the text? Let me show you the two ways in which we reference that in the text. Okay. If you construct a sentence that reads, for example, in this way, a recent study on graphic design in major towns in Nigeria shows that, and you quote, roadside graphic artists Nsukka have been innovative. If you construct this sentence this way, at the end of the quotation, you will now give us the surname of the author. The way it's put here shows you that Solomon is the surname. Peter is the first name. The way it's put here as you can see here. Even though with the example I was showing you before, it was interchanged. But however, this shows that however a name comes in the material you have, as you have it here. If it is Peter Solomon, it means that Solomon is the surname. Peter is the first name. So you are taking the surname to cite the source. If in the material you have, the name is given as Solomon Peter, what that means is that Peter is the surname, and Solomon is the first name. But if in a material you find a name written and then marked out with a comma, then that signals you that that first name written there, marked out with a comma, is a surname. So if you have Peter, comma, Solomon, that tells you that Peter is the surname. But normally, any group article will write the first name first and the surname last. That could be the middle name. But just know that what you have coming last is the surname. Others are the first and then the middle name. So, the second example of a different way in which you can cite that source is to say, for example, the recent study on graphic design in major towns in Nigeria by Solomon. Immediately you mention the name of the author as you write. Immediately you feed in the name of the author in your construction, in your text. What should come after that name is the year of publication. So you have a recent study on graphic design in major towns in Nigeria by Solomon. You put the date of publication 2001 to 2021. Shows that after the quotation, you then give us the page number where you have found the quotation. So you have a recent study on graphic design in major towns in Nigeria by Solomon, 2021. Shows that, and I quote, roadside graphic artists in Nsukka have been innovative. I said, and I quote because I'm speaking to you. If you're writing, you don't write, and I quote. And you don't write quote, you quote it. After that, in bracket, you have small letter P, the period, and then the page, in which case page 9 comes in. That's another example. You can decide to use any signal phrase that suits what you want to communicate in your study. For example, after some further research by Solomon in 2021, bracket, he found that the quotation comes, roadside graphic artists in Nsukka have been innovative. Then you put the page number where you have give to that. Page 9 in this case. So you see, the major thing you need to go here is that in your in-text referencing or citation, as you are constructing your sentences to convey whatever thing you want to say, as soon as you mention the name of the author in your construction or in your narrative, you give us the date of publication. That is APA style. And when you have quoted that author or that source directly, you must give us the page or pages from where you are getting that in a bracket after the quotation. Also, if you have paraphrased the author, in which case you have summarized his thoughts, you have written his thoughts in your own way, in your own, but the idea is from that author. APA allows you to still be able to put the page from where you have taken it out. Now, I'll move to a longer quotation. When the material is more than 40 words. For example, it's a long quote by the same author. Let me make it the same with the other, which is Solomon. Date 2021. The direct quotation that you are making reads: roadside graphic artists in Nsukka have been innovative. They have shown an increasing understanding of the use of computer tools in the creation of effective banners and other forms of visual communication. It will appear that the influence of academically trained designers who have also worked among them in recent years accounts for this important transformation. If, for example, you've taken this long quotation from page 9, how do you reference it in the text? You do that by indenting the quotation. On the slide, you find that that quotation has been indented. So you move all of the quoted matter forward as if they are all coming in a paragraph, or they're standing neck to neck. Each line standing neck to neck, as you can see on the screen. When you need a phrase or a sentence to introduce that, and I'll give one example. After some further research by Solomon 2021, again, if you mention the author, the year of publication must follow. If you reference the author in your signal phrase or in your narrative, before the quotation comes, you must put the year of publication. So you have, after some further research by Solomon 2021 in bracket, he found out, there's a column there, and then you put the quotation that is more than 40 words in an indented format, as you can find on the screen. After that, you put the page where you have predicted that at the end. But if you decide to construct the sentence in such a way that the author's name does not get into your sentence structure, then you put both the author and the date of publication and the page number at the end of the material. Let's see. Maybe I take it to the next page so that everything will be there for you. Now you see, a recent study on graphic design in major towns in Nigeria has been viewed quite a lot as one gets to know that. You see, roadside graphic artists in Nsukka have been innovative, have shown an increasing understanding of all of these quoted material. You can find them as indented. So you can find on the screen. And at the end of it, you now have Solomon, 2021, page 9, all the bracket at the end of it. So these are the two ways that you cite the sources. Now, if there are more than one author in your text, you're citing more than one author together, how do you handle the two different forms again? It's the same thing, the same way. And you can find an example on the screen. Your hands, big number. They have gone. Should should read it correctly there. There have been a number of revealing studies on graphic design in major towns in Nigeria. These include the studies by Moko. Immediately you mention the name of the author in your text, the date of publication must follow. So, these include the studies by Moko 2000, One 2004, Oyifyoda 2019, the dates are in bracket, and Solomon 2021 bracket, which all suggest that there has been an interesting transformation in the sector due to the influence of new media. Now, if I am constructing this same sentence in such a way that I do not want the name of the authors to reflect in my sentence structure, I want to put them at the end of the quotation, at the end of my statement. How do you do it? This is an example. There have been a number of revealing studies on graphic design in major towns in Nigeria. The bracket, you bring all of those authors that have done this study together, or similar studies together, in a bracket. So I have Roku Kama, 2000. You mark it out by using a semicolon. One for Kama, 2004, mark it out with a semicolon. Oyifyoda, mark it out with a Kama, 2019, mark it out with a semicolon. Solomon, Kama, 2021, all in brackets. These all suggest that there has been an interesting transformation in the sector due to the influence of new media. And you may continue. For example, in his recent study of the Nsukka area, Solomon 2021, as you mentioned the author, you mentioned the year. Except if you're reconstructing it in such a way that you don't have the author mentioned as part of the sentence structure. For example, in his recent study of the Nsukka area, Solomon 2021, found that, I bring in the quotation, roadside graphic artists in Nsukka have done the liberty. Page 9, a bracket, closes that to tell us where that quotation has been taken down. So, in a similar way, at the end of that paragraph, as you can see, if I want to rework it, so that I don't mention Solomon in my sentence, then we'll do what we've done before by bringing Solomon and the date and the page number at the end of that quotation. For example, a recent study of the Nsukka area found that roadside graphic artists in Nsukka are innovative. Bracket, I will now have Solomon, 2021, page 9. Is that clear? So let me show you what I mean. If I repeat this. If I repeat this here, then, and I say, for example, in a recent study of the Nsukka area, the recent study of the Nsukka area, it was found that roadside graphic artists in Nsukka have been innovative. Then, bracket, I'll put my source, Solomon, 2021, page 9. So that's how it's going to look if I'm taking it the other way around. So the option is yours. depends on how you want to write, your writing style. Now, let me go to the reference list. If in the reference list we take material from Roland and David's work, the book Yoruba Art and Language, Seeking the African in African Art, published by Cambridge University Press, and published in New York. We will need all of those materials in our reference list. But in our in-text citation, we need only Abiodun and 2014. But here we need all of the information that can help your reader find this material for himself or herself. The reference list will have Abiodun, comma. You take the initial of his name, the initial of Roland, which is R, capital R. Put a period. 2014 in bracket, after that put a period. Then, Yoruba Art and Language is the main title. So you treat a column after the main title. And when you are writing the subtitle will have to start with an initial capital. Seeking, capital S. Seeking the African in African art. African art is the name of the place. So, African is the name of the place. Africa. So when you see Africa or African, you have to put that in initial capital. So African art. After you have written the title of the book, in italics, if you're typing. If you're not typing, if you're writing with longhand, you underline. You underline the title of the book or the title of the journal. Title of the book or title of the journal is underlined if you are writing longhand, or italicized if you are using the computer. So after that, New York, the place of publication, you put the column and then you put the publisher, Cambridge University Press. So this is the way it will appear on the reference list. Now, you can see that you do not put the initial R in the text. When you are doing the in-text citation, you don't write Abiodun R, except if you have more than one Abiodun. If you have more than one Abiodun in the materials that you're using, you can then use, you're allowed to put the initial. You have Abiodun Roland, and have Abiodun Paul, and Abiodun John. If you leave it just at only Abiodun, you might not know the supplier. So that's the only exception. This is for one author, two authors. For example, book authors, Habakkuk and Nsukka and Yaakov. Year 1984, title Igbo Arts, Community and Cosmos. Place of publication Los Angeles, publisher Museum of Natural History, Industrial College. You see, Co is a surname. Co, when you write the surname, you mark it out, they come out. capital, H with a period, the initial capital. The initial of the name, sorry. And Aniako. You see, use a ampersand, use an ampersand. This and is called ampersand. If you are to be writing this in the text, Ko and Aniako, you write it down in full, but on the reference list you will use the ampersand. After that, you have Igbo arts column, community and cosmos. Igbo initial capital. Community have to be initial capital because it is coming after the column. It is subtitle, community and cosmos. Put a period, Los Angeles, place of publication, put a column, Museum of Cultural History, University of California. Now, this article or chapter in an edited book. The author is Henry J. Drowell, year 2013. You can see the title of the article. The book editors, the book in which this article appears, the book editors are G. Salami and M.B. Bisona. The book title is A Companion to Modern African Art. The page range of the article by Drowell in that book is pages 21 to 49. That's the page range. This is publication is London, publisher in Wiley. Now look at what you do. Drowell, comma, H period, J period, 2013 bracket period. You can see the title of an article in a book, in an edited book, or in a journal is not italicized. The title of an article in an edited book or in a journal is not italicized. What we italicize is the title of the book in which the article appears, if it's an edited book, or the title of the journal in which that article appears, not the article itself. So you can see that's why you find it on the screen written in an ordinary form. Local transformations, global inspirations, the visual histories and cultures of water arts in Africa. When you finish the title, you fill a period. Then you write in the authors come into play, the editors of the work, G. Salami and M.B. Bisona, in bracket, ED, to show that they are editors, comma, a companion to modern African art. So we italicize the book. Immediately after the book, we put the page range of that particular article. The page range is pages 21 to 49. Publisher is London, and place of publication is London. John Wiley is published. After this, I'll take you to the abridged form of the particular edition of the APS style that we are using for this lecture, and show you point by point a summary of what we have been saying all this while. Now, finally, let me just take one journal article let's show how you cite journal articles. This journal article, the author's name is Malassi Burns. The year is 1989. The title is Ceramic Clues, Art History in the Gongola Valley. The journal's name is African Arts, Volume 22, Issue 2, page range 48 to 59. Now, look at how we structure it. Surname first, Burns, initials of the first name and the middle name, M period, C period. 1989 in bracket, after that a period again. Then the title of the article is Ceramic Clues, Art History in the Gongola Valley. You see that the title of that journal article is not italicized, and it is also not put in quotation marks. And the title of the journal in which it appears is shown African Arts, and it is italicized if you are using your computer, or underlined if you are writing longhand. Now watch. The volume, if you have both volume and issue number, or volume and some journals are documented in volumes and issues, or volumes and numbers. This one is documented in volume and issue. So we have an article. We have an example here. A journal article by Malassi Burns, published in 1989. The title is Ceramic Clues, Art History in the Gongola Valley. Journal of African Arts, volume 2, issue 2, page range 49, 48 to 59. You begin with the author's surname, in this case, Burns, mark it up with the comma, M period, C period, 1989 in bracket. Then you put the title of the article, not in italics, not in quotation marks. It is only the title of the journal that you put in italics if you are using the computer, or you underline if you are writing longhand. After that, immediately after the journal title is the volume, and the volume is also written in italics. If the journal is documented in volumes and issues, or volumes and numbers, you put the volume number in italics as well as you did the title of the journal. If you watch the screen, you see. After that, you put the issue number of that journal in bracket, in which case we have this to be African Art 22 in bracket 2. Then you have a comma, you have the page range. Let me just use the page range that we have in the original material as indicated here. 48 to 59. If you find a journal that is not, documented in volumes and issues, but only on issues, we will not have any need to put the issue number in italics. What we'll have is just 2. What we'll have is What I mean is that when you don't have both issue and volume, you just give us what is it that you have. After that, you give us the page range of that. You must give us the page range of an article that you have cited. You must give us the page range of the article that you cited. But you notice that you do not need a page range in a book. Such as the book by Abiodun, Roland Abiodun. You don't need to put the page range because he is the author of the entire book. If you have cited any particular page, the reference to a particular page in your text, it is within your text that you put the page number. But for an edited book, like the one by Salami and Misona, in which Drawer's paper was published, you must give us the page range because Drawer is not the only author that has published a paper, that has published a chapter or an article in that book. So somebody going to look for that same material will want to know the specific of pages in which that article or chapter appears. And then, the same way, when you are documenting a journal article, you must give us the page range because it is not only that author's article that has appeared in that particular issue of the journal. So we need to know where exactly you can go and find the article that you have cited. So on the reference list, you must give us the page range of that particular article. Now, what I'll do at this point is to go back to show you a summary of this is according to APA style. So when you have this, for example, it shows you what you do with a book. Book with an edition is stated. The author, this is the author, year of publication, book edition, this is the book title. You see it's written in italics. If you have used 7th edition or any edition of this book, you must show us the edition that you're using. Because somebody who wants to cite the same material, wants to read the same outside, by looking for it in another edition, there might have been changes. There might have been changes in the edition that you're using. So you have to show what the edition that you're using so that you will make for accurate verification, for accurate use of the material that you are citing. So you can see this is place of publication and this publisher. For journal article, you see author, year of publication, the article. Do we perform better when we use red blood cells? This is the title of the journal, and you can see it is in italics. Journal name. I've been saying title of journal. That is wrong. It's better to use journal name. You see the volume. This journal, this particular journal, is organized in volumes. And you can see that the volume is put in italics. There is nothing to put in bracket after the volume because it is not organized in volumes If the journal is an online journal and it has a DOI, which is short form for Digital Object Identifier, you are also required to put the DOI. Although the most current APA style guide does not require you to go to chapter in an edited book, Smith, MN, and Jones, W. This is author, the first author, marked up with a comma with the initials, and then the ampersand. This is what you use in the reference list. For the use and A and D if you are citing them in your text. Jones W, Jones, W, then this is your publication. This is the chapter title, the college student. You put a period. You put an A. After you put an A, it's showing that this chapter is published in. That's what that A is doing there. A, you put the book editors, C. Wood and M. Mayer. You will notice that when you are putting the book editors, you put their first name first. You see the difference? The book editors, as you are citing them here, you are putting their initial, the initials first before their surname, and M. Mayer. Then, because there are two editors and two persons editing the book, you now have EDS editors. The period, comma, you have the title of the book title. After the book title, immediately after the book title, you put the page range, chapter page range. And because it's more than one page, you put PP, double P, is a plural. If it's one page, you have just P, one P. And the P is small letter P. Don't make the mistake of putting the capital P or capital P. After that, you now have the place of publication. In this case, you have two publication places of publication. London, Canada. Then the publisher is Manila. This also shows you how you cite a web page or website without a publication date. If there's no publication date, you use ND, all small letters with period. ND means no publication date. Use ND. This is the web page. The type of the web page, what is a mind map? It will retrieve this from this. This is the web page we are at. I'm using this to show you that all of the materials are supposed to be organized in alphabetical order. All of their sources, all of the authors, all of the sources that you have on the reference list must be arranged in alphabetical order. You can see here that beginning with Alba to ancient to helps you to arrange this. But you need to know that you must do this. You do not bring boson, for example, to tea here before an hour. You must arrange all your sources in alphabetical order. From A to Z. When you get this gives you reference examples, gives you a lot of examples to help you know what to do when it is one author, when it is two authors, when it is 3 to 7 authors, and how to cite an e-book, how to cite translation, and so on. Gives you a lot more information about how you grapple with the basics that we have just given you, to help you to understand this when you are looking at them in further details. So that is it about APA style reference. Thank you very much for listening.